Sula is Toni Morrison's second novel, which deals with the life experiences of two African American friends, Sula and Nell, from their childhood to Sula's death. It is the story of a small black community in Ohio, USA, which takes place after World War I. By depicting the lives of Sula and Nell, the author describes racial and gender relationships in post war segregated America of the 20th century. Toni Morrison was born in 1931 in Ohio, was a pioneering American novelist known for her exploration of African American identity. She authored 11 novels including The Bluest Eye, Song of Solomon, and Beloved, which received critical acclaim and prestigious awards such as the Pulitzer Prize and the Nobel Prize in Literature, making her the first African American woman to achieve this honor. Before beginning the story, let's understand the few characters who are crucial in this novel. First is Sula Peace. The titular character, Sula, is depicted as wild, independent, and rebellious. She challenges societal norms and expectations, often acting in ways that others find unconventional or even amoral. Sula's actions and choices deeply impact those around her, and she embodies with freedom and destruction. Nell Wright. Nell is Sula's childhood friend. She represents conformity and stability in contrast to Sula's free-spirited nature. Throughout the novel, Nell grapples with her own desires and the expectations placed upon her by society, ultimately confronting the complexities of friendship, loyalty, and forgiveness. Actually, both Sula and Nell are female characters. The third is Eva Peace. Sula's grandmother, Eva, is a formidable matriarch who plays a central role in the lives of the characters. She is portrayed as strong willed and fiercely protective for her family. Eva's actions are driven by her deep love for her children and grandchildren. The fourth is Shadrach. Shadrach is a traumatized World War I veteran who creates National Suicide Day as a way to cope with his own mental anguish. He is depicted as eccentric and unpredictable, yet also insightful and deeply philosophical. The fourth, fifth, and the sixth are the Ajax and Hannah Peace. Ajax is a charismatic and enigmatic man who becomes romantically involved with both Sula and Nell. He represents the allure of freedom and self-discovery, yet also embodies the pitfalls of selfishness and emotional detachment. Ajax's relationship with Sula and Nell highlight the complexities of love, desire, and betrayal. Hannah Peace. Sula's mother, Hannah, is portrayed as beautiful and sensual, yet also flawed and vulnerable. Her relationship with Sula is characterized by both love and neglect, reflecting the complexities of maternal bonds and familial expectations. These are just a few of the nuanced characters in Sula, each contributing to novel's exploration of identity, community, and the human experience. Now let's jump into the novel's summary. The Bottom was a black neighborhood on a hill above the fictional town of Medallion, Ohio, set to be bulldozed at the beginning of the novel for the creation of a golf course. The Bottom originated as an agreement between a white farmer and his black slave. The story is organized by chronological chapters labeled with years. In 1919, the first named character, handsome Shadrach, returns from World War I as a shattered man suffering from shell shock or PTSD and unable to accept the world he used to belong in. As a way to compartmentalize the unpredictable nature of death, Shadrach invents a National Suicide Day to be held annually on January 3rd. Shadrach proposed that Medallion citizens could kill themselves or each other on this day and be free from death for the rest of the year. The town accepts Shadrach as a part of their community, despite his outbursts. In 1920 and 1921, the narrator contrasts the families of the children Nell Wright and Sula Peace, who both grow up with no father figure. Nell, the product of a mother knee deep in social conventions, grow up in a stable home. Nell is initially torn between the rigid conventionality of her mother, Helen Wright, who dislikes Sula's family instantly, and her inherent curiosity with the world which she discovers on a trip. Though she vows to explore more of the world, she ultimately never leaves the bottom again. This experience ultimately prompts Nell to begin a friendship with Sula. The Peace family is the opposite. She lives with her grandmother, Eva, and her mother, Hannah, both of whom are seen by the town as eccentric, loose, yet Hannah was genuinely loved by all men, and Eva was very respected by all women. Their house serves as a home for three informally adopted boys and a steady stream of boarders. The extremely strained relationship between Hannah and Eva is revealed. Despite their differences, Sula and Nell become fiercely attached to each other as adolescents. They share every part of their life, including the shared memory of a traumatic event. One day, they playfully swing on a neighborhood boy, Chicken Little, around by his hands. Sula loses her grip and he falls into a nearby river and drowns. They do not tell anyone of their role in his death. Though Sula grieves with guilt, Nell feels relief after deciding that the event is primarily Sula's fault. Shadrach lives in a shack by the river's edge, and the girls are uncertain if he witnessed Chicken Little's death. To determine if he saw, Sula visits the shack alone and is surprised at its orderliness. Sula is unable to confront Shadrach through her tears. He comforts her and she runs away, accidentally leaving behind her belt. Shadrach hangs the belt on his wall in memory of his only visitor. One day, Hannah tries to light a fire outside her dress, catches fire. Eva sees this happening from upstairs and jumps out the window in an attempt to save her daughter's life. Sula, who was sitting on a porch, simply watched her mother burn. An ambulance comes, but Hannah dies en route to the hospital, with Eva injured as well. Other residents of the bottom believe Sula remained still because she was stunned by the incident. Eva believes that Sula stood and watched out of curiosity. As an adult, Nell chooses to get married, breaking the childhood promise of the girls to share everything. Sula lives a life of ardent independence and total disregard for social conventions. Shortly after Nell's wedding, Sula leaves the bottom for 10 years. She has many affairs and attends college. When she returns to the bottom and to Nell, who became an unconventional wife and mother, they reconcile briefly. The rest of the town grows to resent Sula, in part because of her many affairs with married men. The husbands start a rumor that Sula slept with white men, worsening the town's opinion of Sula. The town's hatred of Sula gives them the impetus to live harmoniously with one another, as well as treat each other better. Sula's affair gives the wives a reason to soothe the bruised egos of their husbands, while Sula's lack of family at her age is scorned by all women and causes them to be better mothers. Though Shadrach is typically vulgar and shocking to other townspeople, he treats Sula with respect. Nell and Sula end their friendship after Sula has an affair with Nell's husband Jude. Just before Sula dies in 1940, they reconcile half-heartedly. With Sula's death, the harmony that had reignited in the town quickly dissolves. Sula dies alone with no one to attend her funeral. Shadrach, whose PTSD has faded enough for loneliness to crawl back in, is the only saddened by her death. Nell never remarries and becomes an overbearing mother. The bottom slowly dissolves after Sula's death, becoming a different place. Nell visits Eva in 1965 in an elderly care facility where Eva tells her that she knew about the death of Chicken Little. Nell replies that the blame was just on Sula but remembers her old promise to Sula to share everything. Nell says goodbye to Sula at her gravestone, realizing that her loneliness was not from missing her ex husband but from missing Sula. She cries in grief as she recalls the years spent without her. Now let's discuss the important themes in the story. First is friendship. The novel delves and deeply into the complexities of female friendship, particularly the intense bond between Nell and Sula. Their friendship shapes their identities and offers solace in a world that often feels isolating. The second is race and racism. Racism is a constant presence in Sula, shaping the characters' experiences and limiting their opportunities. The novel explores the ways that black people navigate a racist society and the toll it takes on their lives. Love and sexuality. Morrison portrays love and sexuality in all their complexity. Nell seeks a conventional, nurturing love, while Sula embraces a more independent and unconventional path. Motherhood and gender roles. The novel challenges traditional expectations of motherhood. Nell desires a stable family life, while Sula rejects the societal pressures to conform. Through these contrasting characters, Morrison explores the various ways that women can define themselves in relation to motherhood. Loss and grief. The characters in Sula experience a great deal of loss and grief, from the death of loved ones to the loss of innocence and security. The novel explores how they cope with these losses and the lasting impact they have on their lives. Freedom and identity. The central theme in Sula is the quest for freedom and identity. Nell and Sula both grapple with societal expectations and seek to define themselves on their own terms. The novel explores the challenges and complexities of this journey. Thus, the novel, Toni Morrison's Sula, shows us the harsh realities of poverty, race, and class. Further, this story is mostly about female friendship among African American women. Although Sula was written over a decade ago, many of its themes and settings, such as poverty, class, violence, and fear, as well as social and racial and religious status, still surround African American society.